Hey, Rhea, is Kenny for Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, and thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
Well, let's go ahead and begin. How did your wrestling career got started?
When I was 14 years old, I was just lucky enough to hear that there was a school in my town, and you had to be 14 to start. So I started the day after my 14th birthday. I started training. Um, and it was just a guy who really loved the wrestling business and trained himself, and he broke me in, and that's how it started.
How was the whole experience like going through the whole training process?
It was definitely not what I expected. Like I knew it was gonna hurt, but like it was rough on your body, that's for sure. But I was always just, eager to learn and grateful for whoever wanted to teach me.
It definitely must have felt like a reality check type of deal.
Yeah, well, when I first started, there wasn't a lot of girls around, so it was always wrestling with the bigger guys, right? And obviously guys are going to hit harder than girls, so, you got tough skin really fast.
With that said, did you get the feeling from guys that maybe they didn't want to hurt you that much, or that you just went up to them and
Yes.
say, or did you went up to them and say, just treat me like everybody else, I can take it?
Well, at first, they were kind of leery. They didn't want to hit you. And then I would hit them a few times, and then they'd treat me like one of the boys. Then it was like, okay, she can hit this hard. She can obviously take it. And I think I gained a little bit of respect that way. Just not complaining about it. Just treat me like one of the guys. So
Hey, those guys must have been caught off guard. Like, wait a minute now.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
So, do you remember the first wrestling match that you had, and if so, who was your opponent and what company did you work for at the time?
My first wrestling match ever was against a guy named Mad Rapper Mike, and he's a nobody now. He doesn't wrestle at all anymore. Um, it was just a nerve-wracking experience. Like I was not prepared for how nervous you can be before you go out there, and it really, to clear your mind and to get the confidence takes a while. The company itself was the company that trained me. It's out of BC, Canada. It's called Maniac Wrestling Alliance. They don't run shows anymore, but that was the first couple of years was my mainly working with them.
How would you best describe your wrestling style?
My style, I like to think of more of a brawler, hard hitting, power moves. I'm not the smallest girl, so I'm not really a high flyer or anything. I would rather, get to the nitty gritty and lay in those hits, right? So,
Who do you consider like your favorite rivals that you have had the chance to work with, male or female?
um, I don't know what my favorite rivals would be. I've had great opportunities to work some really good wrestlers. Like when in 2005, I got the opportunity to wrestle Sarah Stock. Um, she is very misleading looking at her because she's so small, but she is a hard hitting individual, and really just enjoyed everything. I got to learn from that one match with her. Um, but yeah, I haven't really had too many regular rivals until just recently now. So recently, I've done a lot of matches with Raven Lake. Uh, she wrestled back in the day, and now still sticks her. She came back after a few years off, so I've done quite a bit with her in the last little while, and it's been fun. But it's wrestling, right? So,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, have you? you living in Canada, have you had an opportunity to to wrestle in America? Is that something you see yourself doing?
I did take a trip down to America when I was younger, and it's kind of a funny story. We were booked to wrestle in Minnesota, and we got down there to find out that the show had actually been canceled. So my only trip to America to wrestle didn't turn out so well, but the traveling was fun and it was still a learning experience. I would love to come back. It's just a matter of getting there right now. So,
Do you have any upcoming wrestling shows that you will like to promote?
absolutely. I have a match in Kelowna, BC, against Casey Spinelli. This will be our second one-on-one match that I've had with her. She's traveled quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to that. She just recently lost her ECCW women's belt, so hopefully I can continue her losing streak and kick some butt for sure. The next night we are in Vernon, BC, and that will be an intergender tag match with myself and the Cremator taking on Casey Spinelli and Tony Baroni. So I'm looking forward to it and hope to see a lot of people out there.
What do you consider the favorite part of being a wrestler? What do you like the most about it? Is it the traveling? Is it being in the ring? Is it hanging with your peers in the locker room? What do you like the most of being a wrestler?
That's a tough call. I think for every wrestler, I mean, traveling is great. It's always fun, hanging out with people that you can relate to. That's great too. But I think my favorite part is living for that match, that actually going out there and performing for people and getting a reaction from them. It's such a great feeling. Like you can't compare it to anything else, right? It's just it's amazing.
Yes, indeed. And as a wrestling fan, I just admire your hard work and dedication to the craft, putting your bodies on the line to entertain the fans. I mean, it's not an easy job, but someone's got to do it. Someone's got to deliver, and to see people such as yourselves on the indie scene just performing, it's very satisfying to see that y'all pursuing your dreams, and as a fan, I appreciate what y'all do for a living.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it as you got to bust your butt and do your best because there's always going to be somebody waiting to take your spot, right? So just taking it to your top limits all the time is really what you got to shoot for.
Is there any wrestlers out there, male or female, or either the indies or the pros, that you haven't had a chance to work with but would like to be in the ring competing against someday?
If we're gonna go with the mainstream scene, I would love to fight Tara. I have a world of respect for her and her abilities, and the fact that you can look as good as you do and still have so much ability. I think that's amazing and just so much respect. As far as more indie scene, I have a lot of respect for cheerleader Melissa. I've been on the same shows as her, but I've never gotten a chance to work her. I would love that. Sarah Del Rey, who is now training, the WWE developmentals. I would love to do anything with her. Just, I could be so lucky one day.
You know what they say in the wrestling business: never say never. And who knows?
Right. Exactly.
You may find yourself in the same area as those ladies. I had a chance to meet Tara a couple of times when she was Victoria in WWE. She's a sweetheart. She's funny. She's hilarious. It was great talking to her. Cheerleader Melissa. she's definitely one of the best out there on the indie scene right now. And for Sarah, I mean, I hope those divas pay attention. They need all the
for
help.
sure.
They need all the help they can get. Uh, I wish Sarah would actually be more than just a trainer, but I guess that's how you got to start somewhere, and that has been a
Yeah,
dream of hers. So I guess you got to start somewhere. But the divas, pay attention. Just shut up, listen to Sarah, watch her work,
yeah.
and maybe the divas division will be somewhat relevant again. Um, but until I see her wrestle, actually, aside for the training, I'm not going to hold my breath too much. But if anyone could pull it off,
Yeah.
it's Sarah Durway. Uh,
Um, I think that some of the divas they do have, they just don't use them. Like Natalya is an amazing talent. They don't use her nearly as much as they should be. Like they do have the talent they need. And some of the girls that are in NXT right now, they're gonna be big. Just give them that opportunity they need.
yeah, your fellow Canadian Natalia, I admire her. I like Tamina Snooker. I even like the current Divas champion, Caitlyn, AJ
Yeah.
as well. Um, uh, they have the talent. It's just a matter of giving them a little bit more than 2 3 minutes, considering
Exactly.
the Monday night shows are 3 hours long. You can't even give the females a little bit longer than the guys. I mean, what happened to equality for crying out loud?
Well, and the Divas fans are suffering from this. They don't get to see what they want because it's taken up by other things and time slots, and it's really not fair to the fans that are there to see the Divas. They don't get a chance to see them go at it, and it could be better.
Well, they got some talent, so it's a start, and
Yeah.
it's slowly but surely. Speaking of Natalia, I mean, you being in Canada, I mean, Canada throughout the decades has had a lot of great wrestlers. Pretty much the whole
Mhm.
Hart family, Trish Stratus, who's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in about a week and a half from now. I mean, how does it feel to see all these Canadian wrestlers, dominate in the wrestling industry?
It gives you hope, like all these small town, there's small town girls that are doing great for themselves, and it's just it's promising. It's very promising.
Who do you consider like your all-time favorite Canadian wrestler? It could be male, female.
Oh, I don't even know where to. I don't have an answer for that. I've never thought of that actually. Um, I don't know. I've met Natalia and she has a great attitude. But I've nothing bad whatsoever to say about her. So we'll go with Natalia.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, it's the Hart family. You can't go wrong with the
Yeah,
Hart family. Um,
yeah.
so who do you consider? Um, Now that you mentioned Natalia, who do you consider influences in your wrestling career?
Honestly, I Jeff Hardy. When I was younger, to see him just jumping off the ropes and stuff, I was so intrigued by this. Honestly, I don't think I would have became a wrestler had he not been a wrestler. He was the first one that made me want to do this. And then from there, watching the indies is actually the ability that you get to see on the indies is incredible. So the more I am on indie shows, the more I see, my fellow peers, it makes you want to get better. So Jeff Hardy's to blame for my wrestling career, and everyone around me just makes me want to go farther.
What you gotta admire about Jeff Hardy is that he's not afraid of taking risks, and that's
No.
he loves to take that extra step when I guess promoters and such would say no, don't. I mean, have a good show. Don't put yourself in harm's way. But that's what fans want to see is what are you willing to do to make people say wow, that was worth paying the tickets to go to the show. That was worth paying the pay-per-view. You know,
Yeah.
that's what these wrestlers got to do, especially on the mainstream scene. Um, so for people that want to get in touch with you, social media wise, Facebook, Twitter, etc., why don't you go ahead and promote your links?
For Facebook, go ahead and check out Riea Von Slasher. I have my own fan page. It just got started not too long ago, so I'm constantly putting things up there. Twitter as well is just at Riea Von Slasher. I don't have an actual website yet. Well, that'll be coming soon. So yeah, just type in my name. If you're looking for me, you'll find me.
Check out the shows that she mentioned. Support local indie pro wrestling, no matter where you're from, America in my case, or Canada, where we are is located at. Just go out there and support your local pro indie wrestling shows out there. And my last question for you is, what would your advice be to anyone that wants to be a wrestler? What would your advice be?
Make sure you have the heart and the dedication. You make sure you really want it, because otherwise you just won't make it. You really need to have that heart. And that's all I can really say to anybody wanting to break into the business.
Well, it was great talking to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being on the show. Best of success goes out to you, and hopefully we'll see you out here in America someday.
For sure. Thank you very much.
You have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.